Members of the committee, I'm Rachelle Otteson, elected trustee for Community Library Network in Kootenai County. I'm not representing my library system, but my experience as a parent, educator, library member, and trustee. I wholeheartedly support this bill because children are frequently being harmed, sometimes permanently, by materials in some Idaho libraries and schools. I grew up loving school, books, and libraries. Unfortunately, over the past few decades, some bad actors increasingly exploit obscenity exemptions. 2/3 of my children have been thus harmed. There are many good libraries and schools, but the bad actors need to be curbed from violating the public trust, damaging children and the reputation of the good institutions. Hoping my board would publicly oppose the worst things I could think of, I asked if children's programs on prostitution, pedophilia, and bestiality were next. I was shocked when one board member replied that, quote, children have a right to be exposed to everything, end quote. Last year, a local teacher and library director were on an HRAI book access panel discussion. The panel, with no dissent, stated that it's really important that the libraries have these provocative books that parents don't want their kids to have. Parents' choice is purposely bypassed and unsuspecting children are exposed. Children have a right to their innocence and mental health. Arizona, like many states, doesn't have these exemptions. Their main research library said it is easy and cheap to comply with the law, and no one has ever been charged, and there's a copy of that in the paperwork. There's just something seriously wrong when adults demand to be able to promote obscenity and pornography to minors, and trust me, it's in the libraries. I've seen it, I've heard it. God, nature, our legislature, SCOTUS, and common sense have determined we must protect children. A society that doesn't protect its children is lost. Please be courageous and vote yes to protect vulnerable children from institutionalized psychological damage. Please vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Birch,
Thank you,
for a
Madam Chair,
question.
for two very quick questions.
Yes.
Is your local library board elected by the community?
Ms. Otteson, you always have to go through the
I-
chair. I'm so sorry. Ms. Otteson,
Yes, we are elected by our local community.
thank you.
And
Follow-up?
And roughly how many books are there in your library?
Ms. Otteson, that's a hard one. Just
Oh,
a
there's
round,
So many figures float. I'm not sure.
a bunch.
Yeah.
All right.
Give or take a few.
Give or take a few.